Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of the Fishing Teacher, and thanks for joining us for today's video. And got a little something different for you guys today. I'm going to sort of run down just a theoretical situation. If I went out fishing today, it's the sort of the early fall period we're in right now. I'm going to sort of explain to you guys how I would go about fishing on a typical early fall day, and maybe you guys can take something away from that. It's going to help you all out if you're struggling to catch fish in the fall time of the year. So guys, we're get started just real quick. I wanted to give you the quick reminder about our Fish in the Moment lake map breakdowns. You guys hear me talking about these a lot. Fall's one of the toughest months to catch fish, and we've got a bunch of fall lake map breakdowns available. So if you guys would like to check those out, I'll put the link in the description of this video, and you guys can look at them there. So it's much appreciated. Okay, guys, we've been talking about late summer and early fall fishing for a few weeks now, about how tough it is. And I just sort of want to show you, or just lay it out, how I would go about it on a typical lake across the country, typical man-made reservoir. Now, it'd be a little bit different if I was fishing up north or way down south in Florida, but I think that probably the majority of the anglers that watch this channel, you know, they fish man-made reservoirs at least some part of the year. So this is how I would go about it this time of year. First of all, I'd start out, you know, if I got out there fairly early in the morning, obviously I'd be throwing a topwater bait. This is one of the best times of year to catch fish on a topwater lure. So I'd probably start out with something like a chugger, like a popar or something, maybe around some riprap. If there's any riprap bridges, dam riprap between the docks, I'd throw that little chugger for the first couple of hours with the light being low, the light levels being low. It's a really good way to catch them in the fall time of the year. Also on that, I'd probably, if the water is clear in the lake, say if you have over 4 foot of visibility, I'd probably start out fishing some points, some flatter points with a walking bait, like a Zaraspook or that Megabass Diamante, something like that. Again, in low light conditions until that sun got up about 9 o'clock. Now, at that point, after the sun starts to get up and you start to lose your shade, I've got to make a decision on the topwater. Now, a lot of times in the fall time of the year, they may bite it all year long. So if I'm still getting some bites on it as the sun gets up a little bit, I may continue throwing the topwater all day long and just cover water. But more apt, after the sun comes up a little bit, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start looking for some type of shallow water cover. Now, the shallow water cover can be whatever the lake has available. Say, for example, if you're fishing Logan Martin in Alabama, you know, it's full of boat docks. So I'd probably, you know, move to the boat docks and start flipping the boat pilings. If there's some shallow grass, you know, I may, you know, fish that water willow shallow grass. But more apt in most lakes that have a lot of rock and wood in it, what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to look for some more off-colored water. So I'm going to usually make a move away from the riprap or the points, and I'm going to run like in maybe to the back end of some of the creek arms or maybe up in the river part of the lake, and I'm going to try to find what I consider the most off-colored water in the lake. And at that point, I'm going to fish whatever available cover is there. If I've got shallow rock, I may throw a little square bill crankbait on it. If I've got some lay down trees, I may flip like a little creature bait, or maybe like a little small 3/8 ounce spinner bait through it. Same with grass, same with reeds, lily pads, or whatever. I'm looking for that shallow cover, you know, to fish anything less than 3 foot of water. Now, that approach has been pretty effective for me under normal conditions, but some of the outliers that you have in the fall time of the year, guys, in the back of my mind during the course of the whole day, I'm going to keep thinking about throwing that topwater lure, because the fall time of the year is probably one of the few times of the year that they will actually bite a topwater lure all day long. So I'm always going to be considering that. And generally what happens, my train of thought is when I go out on a fall day, I want to throw some type of a topwater all day long. And if they're not biting it, that's when I go to the shallow cover like we talked about earlier. But that's a good way to mix it up, guys. Try to get them to go on that topwater. If they're biting it, stay with it all day long. If not, just fish it early in the day or late in the day when you have shade on the water, lower light conditions. and then just move to whatever shallow water cover that you have available in the lake. And usually you'll wind up catching a few fish if you can approach it like that. So anyway, hope it helps, guys. We'll talk later.